thing you're going to do is just take your aluminum foil and place it in front of you. And then next you're going to need your pencils and your painter's tape. Now you're only going to want to cover the part of the pencil near the eraser, so you're not going to need a very big piece of painter's tape. So about that size should be fine. And then you're just going to carefully wrap that around the top of your pencil. And make sure that you're covering the entire part. So for this next part, you're just going to need your paintbrush, the pencils, and your palette full of paint. And next what you're going to do is you're going to paint your pencils a solid color. You can pick any color you want, but you are going to need to do a few coats. The good thing about this type of paint on the pencil is that it does dry very quickly, so even though you're going to need multiple coats, you won't have to wait too long in between. So now we have our painted pencils. And this next part is going to get a little messy, so I recommend using something from home like a binder clip or a clothespin, just so you can put it on the top of the pencil, because when we go to create our marble effect, we're going to have a lot of paint on the pencil, and it's easier to lean that up against something to dry. So before we pour our paint onto the aluminum foil, just take note of how long your pencil is, because that's how you're going to gauge how much paint you're going to pour onto the aluminum foil. So once you've picked the colors you would like to use, you're just going to go ahead and put the paint onto the foil. You don't need a lot of paint for this, especially if you're using a lot of colors like I am. And as with any kind of marble effect, there's no rhyme or reason, so you can put the paint in whatever type of pattern you want. The colors will eventually blend together once we put the pencil into the paint. So this is the part that gets a little messy. You're going to hold the pencil by the painter's tape, very carefully place the pencil into the paint, and roll the pencil around. And you'll see that you'll start to get that marble effect. You may have to do this a few times. Just try to keep your paint as even as possible. So this is where we're going to use that binder clip or clothespin that you have at home. You're just going to put it up on the top, and then you're going to lean it up against something. And I have a box, so I'm just going to lean it up against the box. Just carefully place it against whatever you're leaning it on, and it will dry. So my pencils have completely dried, and I carefully removed the painter's tape from the top. And for this next part, you're going to need your Mod Podge and your foam brush. And what you're going to do is you're just going to paint a very thin coat of the Mod Podge over the pencil. And this just creates a seal so that you're able to use your pencils without the paint chipping. And here we have our finished pencils. If you try this craft at home, be sure to share your creations with us. You can email photos to the teen department at teens@smithlib.org. And for more craft programs, check out the library's website at www.smithlib.org.